This video is an introduction to Turtle Graphics, which is chapters 3.1 through 3.3 in the Talking Through Code textbook. So let's open PyCharm, and we're going to be making a new project because we're in a new chapter. So, new project, code, chapter 3, create. All right, so once we're here, right, we've got our files on the left and our code on the right. So we're going to right click to create a new file. So right click, then new, and then Python file. We're going to be doing a turtle intro. And I'm going to hide that left panel like I usually do. All right, so Turtle Graphics is a way to draw pictures to the screen. We sort of imagine it as we have a turtle, or more than one turtle, and they have a pin in their mouth, and as they move, they draw to the screen. They can pick that pin up off the screen and put it back down, but they always have it in their mouth, and when it's down, as they move, they draw a picture. So we have control of a lot of things about that picture. The background color, the pin size, how fast the turtle is drawing it, right? Because we're gonna watch that turtle as it moves. Okay, so we don't get access to this turtle for free. We have to import it into our file. So importing is a way to get access to modules, which we'll talk about in a later video. But for now, we're just gonna put the import at the top and talk about each of its parts. So we're gonna say from turtle. Turtle is the module. We're going to import screen and turtle. Screen and turtle are the objects that we want to have access to for our code. Our screen is the screen or window where the turtle is going to be drawing, and turtle is the thing that's going to be doing the drawing. So let's get our base set up. So we're going to say screen equals screen. This is creating a screen object. Now that we have a screen, we have a place where our turtle can do their drawing. Then we're going to say Shelly is equal to turtle, creating a single turtle object. So now Shelly is going to be the object that's going to be drawing onto our screen. So let me minimize this. All right, so let's get our screen to show up. We're gonna hit run. I don't know if you caught that, but we'll do it again. So we hit run. A screen flashed and then was gone. And that's because we didn't tell it that we wanted the screen to stick around. By default, the screen will do whatever the turtle is supposed to be doing, and then it'll immediately close. So we have to do screen.exit on click. And now our screen will hang around. So one thing that's important to understand about this screen is it's actually a coordinate plane. So we've got the x-axis and the y-axis, so x and y. And it has all four quadrants, which makes this middle 0, 0, right? This is positive x and positive y. The coordinate I think we're sort of used to thinking about and we might expect for all of Turtle Graphics to be on. This is a negative x and a positive y. This is a negative x and a negative y. And this is a positive x and a negative y. So graphics actually involves quite a bit of math, right? If we're going to move our turtle around the screen, we might need to think about where we are in relation to our entire coordinate plane and what are valid coordinates within the plane, right? So it looks like that the biggest x that we can get to, this max x over here, is the width divided by 2. And it looks like this x over here is negative width divided by 2. The biggest y we can get is height divided by 2, and the smallest y is negative height divided by 2. So we're going to keep this picture in mind as we start to move our turtle around our screen and as we think about where the turtle is and where we want it to go. All right, so that being said, let's talk about the defaults for our turtle. So our turtle here is, as we said, at position 0, 0. And she is facing towards the right. We can tell because this, which is the entire turtle, has an arrow that's pointing towards the right. So later, when we start to move our turtle for the first time, she will move towards the right of the screen, towards higher x values. Okay, so that is all about setting up our screen for the first time and getting our first turtle. Now let's talk about customizing our screen. We saw from the initial showing that the screen had a set size and it had a white background, and its title is Python Turtle Graphics. These are all things that we have control over. So let's say that we wanted the screen width, which we're going to make a global constant, is equal to 400, and screen height is equal to 300. There are two methods we're going to call on screen to set up our screen to be the proper size. We're going to do screen.setup, which is screen width and screen height. Then we're going to do screen.screen_size, which is screen width, screen height. So setup is sort of the entire window, and screen size is the part of the window where the turtle can actually draw. So let's run this. Okay, so you'll notice there are scroll bars on the side now. And that is because our setup and screen size are the same size. So there's no room for the part of the window that is incapable of being drawn on. So the way we generally fix this is we'll add 10 or 20 or some amount to the setup, so that way there are no bars. So this wasn't quite enough. Let's try 20. Still not quite enough. Oh, you know what? It's because I messed up. I did screen width twice instead of screen height. That's the danger of autocomplete. All right, so 20 is fine. Let's see if 10 would have been fine if I hadn't messed up and done width twice. Yeah, this is fine, right? So from this, we can tell that our width, this is 400, and our height, this is 300. So we're a little bit wider than we all are tall, and that's fine. So now we have to think about, the biggest x value, biggest y value that we have access to. So the biggest x value is 200, and the biggest y value is 150, right? Because we talked about before with the different coordinate systems that we have. So keep that in mind as you're creating sizes and screens and figuring out where your turtle can go. All right, so then we have how big our screen is set. Let's talk about the background color. We saw that our background color is defaulted to white, but we're gonna slowly work towards our turtle looking like a turtle and living in a pond. So we're gonna do screen.background color. And this is going to give us this nice blue color for our screen. So now we're getting closer to our pond that we want. All right. So now we want our pond to have a good name. So we're going to do screen.title, Shelly's Pond. And now up here, we have Shelly's Pond for our title. So that's really nice, right? We're getting ready for our screen to be exactly what we want and for things to look the way that we want. Okay, so we create a screen, we created a single turtle, which was defaulted to the middle of the screen, and then we updated the background color and the title. All right, so the next video is about turtle movement and customization, and that's chapters 3.4 through 3.5.